hi. I was trying to get back in here really quick and say, okay, here I am. All right. Welcome to Be So Light. I'm Princess Mikkel, as well as Mia, as well as Felicia. You pick and choose. So I was sleeping this morning, and I was enjoying the peacefulness of my sleep, feeling the moment of tranquility, feeling that sleep resting in on me. Then all of a sudden, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I hear bam, 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 bam. Not in this building, in the building in the other side of the parking lot. Open the door! Go away! Son of a man! Open the door! All this screaming and yelling. Now, in a split second, I was thinking, I'm so tired of these particular human beings that are doing this constantly. Every other day, there's some kind of energy ripping over there. And I have to stop and think, well, we did just have those weird clouds and the rain that just messed up all the cars. So you would have to go and wash your car in 2 or 3 days after. And I was just like, there was this part of me, I saw myself coming out of my body and opening up the window and say, shut up! Tired of hearing your shenanigans. Quit it! But I did not do that. I came pretty close. So, I want to talk about something. And with Galactic Spiral Light, I need to bring this up. Now, I've been working with this activation in me, how it activated in everything in me and told me what I was supposed to be doing, how I was going to be working with people with the divine source light coming in a spiral form. And now I love the fact how I used to just take it all the way up in the cosmos and do it. Now we can do cosmos. Now we're doing it through the water. So besides doing the water elixirs, now I'm taking you through the water and doing it. And it's so cool. I really, really like that. So one of the things I find very interesting, and this has just been one of the things I know that's I've discovered with Spiral. And one of the things is if a person has had, is a contactee, okay, if they're a contactee, and that means that since they were young, they've been visited by extra star beings coming visiting them because they're part of the family and they're just checking in on them to see how they're doing. They take them, they work on them, they bring them back, they wipe their minds, or they are always can't put everything together. You know, they always lose time. So if they are a contactee, the if I'm going in to do some type of clearing emotional work and it doesn't show itself right away and it doesn't clear everything right away, it'll clear it a little bit at a time over the week. And sometimes when the spiral light goes in, it will start clearing in that moment and you'll feel like you're kind of feeling chaotic, like everything is coming up all at once. But what it's doing is it's lifting everything so it can be released. So I know that much if I'm working with someone that's a contactee, if they have a being, a star being on them that is not for their highest good, that star being will be upset about that type of energy coming in to get rid of it. It's going to put up a fight. Another thing I know since I've been doing this work is anyone who has been used in any kind of satanic rituals when they were younger, or they were a part of dark ceremonies through their family bloodlines. Let me put it that way. If anything like that has happened to an individual, it's hard to, when you do the clearing, to keep it, because what happens, that person comes back, and they have been so inundated with that energy, they they can't fathom what it would feel like to not have that energy pulling on them anymore, to not hear those energetic voices anymore, to not have that compelling feeling of doom and gloom and depression and fear hitting them all the time, the fear energy. So that's something I know for a fact, that if a person does not share that with me, and I go in and do healing work on them, and it goes in and it starts unleashing everything, and everything comes up, that person starts to think, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have this done, and everything just came up all at once. Yeah, because it needed to. Because if you've had it in your body for so long, and it's just really been pulling on you, pulling down your immune system, pulling down your body, making you tired, making you painful, keeping you in trauma, then it has to undo that. And working with the spiral light, the source divine light of this, also goes deep to pull up what is hidden. Okay, it really does that. And I've seen it pull up things in places where I work, where somebody was doing something they weren't supposed to be doing, and it got revealed. And it was like, whoa. So I feel really good about the fact that since the energies has been kicking up on the planet, this medicine I walk with has gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. And it has gotten so to the point to where I feel like Wonder Woman, like I can just take out a lasso of divine diamond white light and lasso your butt and say, now, what is the truth? Ah, yes, it feels that good. So, those are some of the things I wanted to share about it. But other than that, if you're just working with trauma lines that you're trying to get rid of, and you're still coming up on it, and you haven't shifted, that's what spiral does. And I really love working with it because it's so connected to divine source, 12th dimension. And I'm that type of person that teaches others, stop limiting yourself to just one way of being. Learn that you are a being of light. You can expand throughout all dimensions if you so choose. You have to understand your greatness and embrace that. And one of the things that I was shown today, and this is why I'm on here today about this message I got. So I went to Joann's, went to go get some satin. Then I asked the lady there, I said, I'm looking for cotton that's made in Japan. It's Japanese cotton. It's very high, pristine cotton. It's expensive. A yard. It's very expensive, but it's supposed to be the best cotton fabric made in Japan. You know that lady didn't know what I was talking about? She had no clue what I was talking about. It was an older lady. Had no clue. She was trying to give me some fabric from UK. Nothing against UK, but I was wondering, because it's Joann's, I'm wondering if Joanne has fabric from different places. So when I went and looked at certain fabric, I noticed it came from Pakistan. I'm like, no, I want to know, because I'm looking at frequency. I'm looking at frequency when I get something. If I'm going to use it on my body, if I'm going to put it on my head, if I'm going to lay in it or something, I'm looking at frequency. That's the same like with my bed. When I activate my bed and I get it activated with all the different stones I have in it and the sacred geometry. Oh, stop it. Crow going by. And once I activate the bed, I'm looking at Egyptian cotton on my bed. I want Egyptian cotton. I want to sleep in cotton. I'm not sleeping on that, what is that? That weird fabric, that polyester, hot rayon stuff. No, don't sleep on that. That'll keep you hot all night. It's not cool either. It's irritating. This is why I'm saying when it comes time to sleeping, you need to really look at your bed. What are you sleeping on? What type of fabric are you sleeping under? Makes all the different. And what color are you sleeping under? Because if you're sleeping under a, say like red, you ain't gonna be getting no sleep. That's fire energy. That's movement. Green is healing. Blue is soothing and cooling to the body. A peachy color is like nurturing a little bit, love. White, divine light. Black, might be sleeping in the void, but that can also be a little bit too pulling you down energetically. Okay. That would be good for someone that's just so hyper. Their energy is just so hyped up no matter what. They can't come down. That would be a way to just ground them all the way down. You would probably put them in brown sheets to bring them down, earthing them. Okay. So when I was in there, as I was walking around, I got my purple satin to put on my pillow. Then I came across this. So pretty. Can you tell what it is? Manatees. Look, stingrays, manatee. I was just like, and it was on what you call one of them things that says last chance. And I was like, what? She said, well, those are 60% off. I said, 60% off. I said, it's so pretty. She goes, yeah, it is really pretty. I go, yeah. She said, it feels very watery. I said, the manatee. I'm like, so I already know one of my dolls I'll be making that's going to represent Hawaii and what's going on. So I said this would be a beautiful doll to make with that fabric and then use as altar cloth and everything. So pretty. And manatees are all about the peace, strength, love, um, healing, and unity. And when I saw it, it just brought me to the movie Morana or Mor- Morana, um, how her grandmother became that in the water. So I was just like, I'm gonna get that. I've never seen any fabric like that before, and it was just like, whoa, that stood out. It just went bing. And I was like, I need to get that. So those are the things I wanted to share. And the message from Spirit was this: when I was walking through the parking lot coming out from Joanne's, I heard this so clear because I was looking around and I was watching a couple people that were doing this stuff. And I was like, hmm. And I heard so clear, if you allow the fear in and you accept it, you are consenting to it. You're consenting to all the energy that comes along with it. You're consenting to all the lies. You're consenting to all the illusion of fear, what comes with it. You're consenting to the energy if you go with it. And I said, ooh, I wonder how many people know that. When you step into fear, you're consenting to it to give you fear. When you step into that, you're consenting to it. So don't consent to it. I do not consent to the illusions, the fear. I don't consent to it. What I do consent to is myself, and I consent to the divine to be a beacon of that. And I consent to getting rid of anything that is not of his highest divine life force, just simply by being me. Because really, when you think about it, that type of energy is so afraid of us really being in our true light. I mean, if you really, I've had time to really contemplate, and this is just my own personal take on it, but I've had time to really look at it, and I just want to share this. Think about it. That energy spends so much time trying to get you to be subdued and feared. You have to ask yourself this one question: why are they spending so much time on trying to keep me like that? What is it about me that they don't want me to discover? Now I'm going to share this. Remember when 9/11 happened? Now I know it was like 2 or 3 days before 9/11 hit. Everybody was getting this intuition, a dream, or something that showed that something tragic was getting ready to happen. But everybody couldn't figure out exactly what it was. They kept seeing like pillars on fire. I had a dream of these two pillars on fire, and there was this being sitting there, and it was almost like this, like he was in a yoga position. His eyes were white. He had all these flames around him, and he was looking at me because I was looking at the towers of flame, and I was like, "What is happening?" And I took a ball of light, and I was trying to get rid of the being, and I threw it, and he went like this, and he goes, "You still do not know how powerful you really are. You still don't accept it." And I remember I woke up from that dream, and I was broke out in the sweat, and I was like, "What the hell was that all about?" And then 72 hours later, we had that, and then that's when I saw the towers and saw towers of flames, and I said, "Oh, that's what that dream was about." So I just remember when I saw that, I was like, "Wow." So if you were to really step into who you are and own it, no matter what, game over. That is the whole game. That's the whole illusion. And one person was sharing the story, one of the elders was sharing the story and said, "Yeah, when you leave this lifetime, you go over to the other side, you sit back and you say, oh, shoot, there's nothing but a game. I just couldn't remember. And I got so hung up in all the stuff that was going on the planet. It seemed so real to me. And now I get over here and I see for what it is, and I'm like, oh, hell no." And that's why we get tricked and say, oh, shit. Okay, fine, let me come back and I'll do it right. But when you come back, they wipe your mind. You step through that veil, you come down into this density, and then you totally forget again. And then you're starting that whole thing all over again. You find out who you are, discover your purpose. You know, but now, like these new children that are coming in, they're not doing that. They're coming in with their conscious connected and all their DNA. Uh-huh. That's what they're afraid of. What the golden ones are coming to do. What do? Yes, let it all be done. Let it all be done. Let it all be done. So I find that interesting today. That message was just really out and about in the air, and I'm just watching who's going to play the roles. And what role are you going to play this time around? Because it's coming. They're going to try. But what role are you going to play? Because I know what role I'm playing. I know exactly what role I'm going to play. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? You want to know what it is? I love John Wick. So energetically, I'm going to be Mrs. John Wick. Oh, look, a dark beam. I'm going to hit you with my energy port. Light, 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 light. Take that. Take that light ball. Take that. Take that. Oh, you want some purple light? Magenta? Yeah, just going to be lighting it up. All right. So that's just something I just was like, wow, that's really what the whole thing is. The fear of us really coming into who we are. If you were to really just own yourself 100%, no matter what, just own yourself. Game over. Because then nothing matters. Nothing can get past that because you know who you are. And I think that's the whole process of us being here on this planet is trying to remember who we are. And now, since the frequencies are going up and things are getting activated, and now we're coming and our eyes are opening and the veil is lifting, and it's really going to be on next month because we're stepping into a number 9. We got full moon next week, which is the blue moon. Then we have, after that, 2 days is going to be in galactic energy. 2 of those days are the wave energy. So it's going to be increased. So you think people are arguing and getting kind of crazy now. What do you think next month's going to be like, which is just around the corner next week? What do you think that's going to be like? Amplify. There's a song. And you guys know, I listen to like this. I love dance techno song. But it has to be like that kind of gets you up and dancing, all kind of different, like Moses Friends and all kind of different type of pumped up music that makes you want to dance. And there's this song called Pump It Up. And I just love that. Dun, 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 Pump It Up. I love that song. And it's one of those songs where there's no way, like when I'm driving, I can just sit in my car and can you imagine like just being in your car and that song comes on and you're just like, just driving? No, no, no. You will see this 57-year-old person, you know, I'm having a good time with that beat. And because of the fact that the energy is also helping some people to kind of move their butt out of the way because you're driving in dismal land. So I'm going to do a read here. Are you going out? You going out, baby? Go on. Go ahead. Go. 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 I am live on YouTube right now. Go. Go on. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll be right with you. I'll cuddle with you in a little bit. She's so funny. She's like, oh, I don't want to feel trapped. I gotta step out. Okay, so let's step into this. But I tell you something I really noticed is the new energy, how it's really supporting your thoughts. And things are showing up according to what you just think of, and it just shows up. So I'm working on something. And I want to see how much more of that will just show up. So let's dive into it. Lemuria has a message for us. How do you want to work this message into your life? What's going on with you? Journey to wholeness. Number 33. Journey to wholeness. I love this. Journey to wholeness. Number 33. Pretty colors. Journey to wholeness. Mer people's message is the crane bag. Sacred ocean medicine, clutter, declutter, make a choice. Declutter, get rid of things. Declutter. The frequency of this read, of what we need to step into. Enlightenment, enlightenment mastery, enlightenment. And this is a number 33. Well, we got those threes going on. 33 again. Okay, so with that being said, I always like to look in here. And what you want to do is this is dealing with abundance, visualization, ancient mystery schools, training, ascending master connection, gold and platinum, golden colors and green, frankincense and myrrh, the oils that you would want to work with. And then the stones to work with would be green tourmaline, golden quartz, and citrine, like that. So I've been working with all of my different stones, and it's been really good. The message of the water. So the message for the water is Lord Zakato. This is sanctuary. I create an inner haven of peace. This is so pretty. Very pretty. Okay, last read. So yesterday, I was working with one of my students, and in Spiral Light training, when you're doing your training and you're going in and learning how to be that galactic spiral light practitioner, you have to trust yourself more than anything. You have to trust yourself, and you have to trust when you are being guided to do something, and not get in your head and talk yourself out of it. So my student had an opportunity yesterday to get some healing work done, and then on top of that, teaching her about no mind energy and really showing her how easy it is. And she was able to go out and got tested by the universe. The universe does this, will test you out, and presented a situation to see if she was going to step up to it or not, because there was a lady that was having extreme pain, and she was in there. I think she was at a phone, either AT&T or Verizon. I can't remember which one, but the lady was in massive pain, and she says, if you don't mind, if you give me permission to step in your space, I'd like to help alleviate some of that pain for you. So she stepped into her space and was able to do a good healing on her. Now, my student has a background in Reiki and other energy things, and she's just adding galactic spiral light into her training. So she's just making all of her other modalities stronger. But this one is taking her on a journey of really trusting herself. And she did it, and boom, the lady was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, Phil. And she was able to do it even when people were around. She didn't care who was around. She created sacred space for this to be done so that that person could receive that. When you are ready to heal, you will heal. But if you are stuck in fear, or you like to keep your stuff because it helps you to get the attention that you like, or you have grown, think you've grown accustomed to, then you don't want to heal. You'll say you want to heal, but you really don't want to heal. Because what if you do heal? then what are you going to do with yourself? Well, if you're used to always being in pain 24/7 all the time, and then you are going to heal yourself and let go of a timeline trauma that caused that, and you finally move out of that, you can heal yourself from that. But there's some people who do not want to heal because there's something that they're getting out of it if they do heal. Okay? If they don't heal themselves, they get to still stay in that cycle. Okay? So here is, what are we seeking? So I was really proud of her. And so she watched how yesterday, how I just went in, anchored in a frequency in her. And then she watched how I changed. Whoa, that card just went flying out. Jeez. I'm just going to go ahead and keep that. And then I want to pull another one on top of that for the message. And then she was able to witness how quick I went in with the frequency, changed the water, anchored it to her, then she could taste it in water. And not only taste it in water, I changed the water twice. And then she was able to taste it. And she's like, wow. I said, yeah, this is where you are going to be. There is no thinking or trying or pretending that you're gonna do it. No, you're just gonna do it. That's how this rolls. And she was like, wow, there you go. So I love the fact that people that are out doing their purpose are really doing it. If you have a passion for something, you really want to do it, then step out there and do it. But there's some people that talk themselves out of their dreams, that talk themselves, they had a bad incident or something that happens, they don't want to do it anymore. They had something terrible happen. What was that movie? Bridesmaid. The one where the girl, she was the bakery. She did the baking, cupcakes and cookies and all that stuff. She had something bad happen and she didn't want to do it anymore. But she still had that passion to put interest into it and to step back into it and step beyond the fear of making cupcakes and doing that. And then she found herself putting time into it, doing it again. So the message, see, here it is. What are we seeking? We have to have faith. This is a child holding on to the finger of a dragon. I shouldn't say finger, I should say the claw of a dragon, because the claw of the dragon's coming down saying, don't worry, I got you. Dragons are protectors. They are the most celestial high frequency beings in that higher frequency in the 12th dimension. They are not lower beings at all. The message received in that is, reveal your truth. Take that mask off. Reveal your truth. Don't have that mask on. Look at that. She has to take it off. Observe in silence. Just be watchful. Observe. What are you looking at? Observe. Observe. Be watchful. Observe. So this is what I like about this, is observing. When you observe and you look, you just observe. So that's the message for here. And that's the message that I was getting today when I found this beautiful fabric. I'll be doing something with this. It's so pretty. I mean, come on. I've never seen anything like that. Manatees on it. So pretty. It's like, and you know what? Something else. I want all of you to start doing this thing where you just give to yourself. You do it. You don't sit back, oh well, I don't know if I can afford to do it. Just do it. Just do it. Give to yourself. Do it. Because the more you keep saying, I can't afford to do it or I can't do that. That I used to live like that. Now all I do is, oh wow, I like that. I'm gonna get it. Oh wow, that's really pretty. I like that. I'm gonna get that. Oh, I want to go take that class. Oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm doing that. I'm going to that. Oh, I gotta do this trial. I'm doing that. I'm going to that. And it has to feel aligned to me. And then the next thing you know, things show up so that you can go. So it can take place. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the times we're in. We're in that time of making things happen. We're in those times. So the read that is really pretty good is on the Instagram, Priestess333, Priestess Makala 333, Mekala. Take a look at that. And know also, I do have 2 of my ebooks on galacticspiralite.com. I've written that enough, galacticspiralite.com. And go there and you can take a look at my 2 ebooks that I have there. I am finishing up the last one. I know I keep saying I'm getting ready to do it, but there's just certain days that it just doesn't feel aligned yet. And then there's things that I take out and I'm like, I don't like how that reads. I'm going to take that out. And then I sit back and I wait and then I say, okay, let's word it like this. And then I get information on something and then I put it in there. So we shall see how my book turns out, the 3rd one. Then the 4th book is going to be something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to just write a book on the magic of yourself, the magic of all the things that I've done just by speaking it out and watched it manifest itself. And the one thing that's always stood out, one story I know for a fact that somebody in here is going to appreciate this. You know how you get those cars? And I had what I call car karma. Okay, I really did. I had car karma. And what I mean by that is that no matter what kind of car I got, there was always something wrong with it. And it would only last so long, like less than a year, maybe 6 months, maybe 9 months, give or take. And I just remember this one car I had, it was just on its last leg. And I went up to Oregon, went up to Washington, um, came all the way back down, went to the health food store, came out, got back in the car, went to go make a turn, and then it just died right there. It was a Ford. I think it was a Ford. I think it was a Ford Taurus. It just died right there. And I was just like, are you kidding me? And I just remember when I got that car towed and it was dead, somebody gave me like $100 to tow it to a junkyard and they were going to just piece it out because it was just dead. I wasn't going to get it fixed. I said, no, I'm ready for another vehicle. I'm ready for a better one. And I just remember a friend of mine's loaned me their car, but it was like I was living at the time. I was living up in Auburn. This is the one before the Taurus. Excuse me. This was the no. This was the Taurus. This was the Taurus car. So I was living up in Auburn. I was driving back and forth down to Sacramento, and at this time I was working at Elliot's. And I just remember, when you have that part of life where you just feel beaten down, no matter what you do. You're trying to go live your purpose, you're trying to do your thing, but we're in such the inverted world that messes with you until you figure it out that it's inverted and that you have to shift your awareness and your energy to overcome it. I just remember every time I look up, nothing was going right. It was always something. And I was just like, oh, I'm so tired of this. Now, how am I going to get back and forth to work? That's how it always starts out. How am I going to get back and forth to work? I was going down that road. And then when you go down that road, you start painting the picture of, oh, how am I going to get through this? And I just remember saying to myself, God, what is this? I can't, you know. So then I'll never forget this. It was raining, and a friend of mine had picked me up. We went somewhere, and we were driving around in her truck, and it was pouring down rain out in front of the little cottage that I rented. And she says, "Oh, don't worry, you'll find a car. You'll get a car." I go, she's I say, "You know what? I need a car that can just get me from A to B, that's really good and sturdy, and it's good on gas, and it's pouring down rain. It started lightning and thundering. We're just sitting out in front of my cottage place, and it's pouring down rain. And all I need," and I say it just like this, "I just need a car. And you know what? I don't even want to have to buy it. This person has the car, and they're just going to give it to me. They're just going to give it to me. I'm not going to buy it, nothing. And if it needs anything, that person's going to take care of it for me, and I don't have to worry about it. They're just going to give me the car." The friend sitting at that time, sitting next to me, said, "Now watch this energy. I just spoke it into the ethers. It's raining and lightning and thundering outside. The elements are moving, water and wind. Earth is beneath my feet, as above, so below is going to take place." And I just said it. Okay, I just said it. She turns around and says this. "Well, Felicia, I just don't know anybody who would just give somebody a car just because he asked for it." And I go, "Psh, that's your world. That's your belief. This is what I'm saying. This is my belief." That's what I said. I said, "You know what? I'm going to have that car this week. I don't know. I'll have it this week. I'm going to have it this week." She goes, "Okay, well, let me know when you get it. I'll still come down and pick you up." I said, "No, I'm going to have my car this week." Yeah, no, that's how this is going to go. So I get out of the car. It's pouring down rain. I just look up at the heavens. I said, "You got this, don't you?" It's just like, "You got this, right?" I go, "Bye." I go into the cottage. I'm not thinking about it no more. I take off my wet clothes. I go and get my jammies on, and I'm watching the wind and stuff come down. And I'm like, "Ooh, it's good." Like it was lightning and thundering. And I just thought about it real quick, and I just kind of let it go. Thank you for the love. I go to bed. Now, keep in mind, this cottage that I was living in was a real haunted one, okay, up in Auburn, the haunted one. It's the one that had all the spirits going in and out of it. The ones that had, the loving couple that would sit on the couch and be whispering at night. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm trying to go to sleep. Can you two take that outside?" And then they would go, "Oh, sorry." They were like in the 1800s. She still had the period dress on, and it was so cool. They were so like just in that. Yes, ghosts. So I just remembered. I said, "Okay." I woke up that morning. It was bright and sunny. I get a phone call, and at that time, that was Hanson calling me. He goes, "Hey, Lee, how you doing? How you been feeling?" I said, "Doing good, doing much better." He goes, "Good. Um, what's going on with you?" I said, "Oh, nothing much. I'm still working at Elliot's. I'm still doing my thing. Blah blah blah. I'm doing my thing." He says, "Yeah. Do you still have a car?" I go, "Funny you should say that. Just the other day, my car just like died. Just died." He goes, "You mean that Ford Taurus that you used to drive?" I go, "Yeah, just died." He goes, "Well, you know what? We've been so busy cleaning out our garage and decluttering and getting stuff. You remember that car, that Lamaze that you and Christine used to go to nursing school in?" I go, "Yeah." "The white one?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "We still have that car. It's just sitting on the side. It's got I can replace the tires on it and put a battery in it. I'll get it checked out for you. But you know what? I'd love to just go ahead and get the title over to you and give you that car." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll come by. Let me get the tires on it and put a new battery in there. And I'll come over, pick you up, and bring you down here, give you the keys and the title to the car. You got a car. And it's in good condition." And I was like, "You would do that?" "Yes, I would do that for you, Felicia." Because that's what people do. Something just told me to call you today. I was like, "Okay." So get off the phone. I look up and I go, "Oh, you're good. You're really good." That car, I got goosebumps just talking about it. That car was with me for 3 years until I finally got my first Honda. And no, I got another, no, correction. I got another Ford Focus, an upgraded one, but that was a nightmare too. So I just stayed away from Fords altogether after that one. Then I ended up in the Hondas, and Honda has been going strong. so, so I get that car, the Lamaz. Lamaz is going to take me everywhere except for Paris. Lamaz. So I get the Lamaz, and I'm just like, I just remember saying to myself, "Wow, look at that! I asked for it, and boom, I said I'm going to have that." And the universe, the source divine, matched that frequency and gave it to me just like that. I think a lot of times what happens, we get so wrapped up in how we're trying to manifest, how we're trying to cultivate it and bring it all in. We're trying to bring it from the ethers, and instead of just saying, "I'm magic. This is what it is. Done." And you're not saying to yourself how you want it to show up. I just made it plain statement saying someone's gonna give it to me. I'm not gonna have to pay for it. And this person over here, so you do know what happened when I got it. I didn't have a problem once I got the car. I waited and I drove up, found out my friend was at home, drove up to her place, and I drove in the car and I go, "Hi." She goes, "Hi." She goes, "What's this?" And I go, "Remember when we were sitting in the rain in your truck and you were telling me da 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 da?" Beep beep. There you go. She goes, "This is your car?" I go, "Yeah, that's my car." And it was given to me. Tires, new tires, and a new battery. And a title. We're getting ready to go crazy land. These people have been fighting for 2 weeks now. I'm about to drop some light codes of healing on them because they just keep fighting in the parking lot. I mean, and it's aggressive fighting. It's aggressive. And I see what the woman, this is why we had this teaching about the sacredness of the yoni and the goddess energy. This particular person, kid you not, 2.5 weeks ago, around midnight, was out on her balcony in the dark doing the da 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 da. Everybody could hear it. And ever since she's done that da 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 da, she's been crazy. She's been mad. She's been angry. She's got this like heavy dark energy that's around her, that's bringing her down. The arguments and everything echoes from the other building where they're fighting from. And it's crazy. And I said, okay, well, yesterday was Friday. Today is Saturday. It's going to be on and popping. And so it starts with this fighting, this constant fighting. And it's like, it's a rage energy that these two, and I'm trying to, not trying, I'm sending the light because I don't like the image of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing death with them. I'm seeing police coming. I'm seeing her losing it and her committing harm to that person. Okay. Because that's what these energies are out doing. These beings, these unseen ones, love you to be depressed, love you to be upset, love you to be down on yourself, love you when you are fearful, love you when you are in lack, love you when you keep talking shit to yourself. They love to feed off of you because that's what tastes so good to them. So if they can create a frequency that makes everyone feel discrambled in their brains, you start acting out. You start doing that. I had someone throwing some energy at me, and I was like, no, 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 no. You don't get to do that. You don't get to say that to me. You don't get to talk to me like that. First of all, I'm a Capricorn. No, 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 no. Second of all, I'm 57 years old. No, no, no. I respect you. You respect me. No, 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 no. Yeah, I put that. That person apologized immediately. Said, I'm sorry. I apologize. I was having a bad day. I said, oh, well, okay. No, don't do that. So it's going to be kind of going up and down. It started at 8 o'clock this morning. We're getting ready to hit almost 6. So she's going to be doing this energy thing. And by the time it gets to night, when it's dark, when it's really heavy energy, that's when we're going to feel her energy. So I'm just going to keep sending energy, keep cleansing. There's something that's going on with that. And that's why I was teaching that about the yoni. She took all that stuff in and she ain't been right since. All right. It is very telltale sign. We women receive, men give. If you are sleeping with someone who ain't right, you're taking all that stuff in. And then you're going to be wondering why you don't feel right, why you're having problems, why your money's disappearing and ain't going right. You know, you got stuff going on, you know. Hell, even when I was married to my guy that I loved him immensely. My soul guy, my soulmate, and had to finally say, hell no, I'm going to kick your ass to the curb. We're done. Then went through the dark night of the soul. That lesson within itself, the amount of energy, all of his stuff that I took in, you know, sooner or later, a lot of that had to kind of get cut out because it was just so much energy. And if you're not aware of that, it can wreak havoc with you. It really can. Yeah, everything is triggering right now. Everything's triggering. And it's whatever it is, it's tied into a car, her freedom, and the guy, and another girl that's there. So there's this triage of stuff going on over there. Then, kitty corner, the husband and wife mysteriously started fighting over here for no reason. He pulls out of the garage in his BMW, almost hitting the other garage, because he was like, I don't know why you're out here bashing at me right now. I gotta go to work. You see what's happening? Everything's coming undone. And if you're in something that's not and you're raising up in your frequency, and this is all this convoluted stuff happening around you, and all this stuff and the relationships, and I'm just observing, and I'm like, there's this part of me that wants to go up to her and say, I want to pull a Abuela on her and say, young lady, listen to me. You need to take a bath, a salt bath. You need a yoni steam right now. And no more sex for you for 6 months to a year. Get yourself right. You need to cleanse. I feel that if I was to go up to her in that manner, it would probably scare her to death. It'd be a little bit too aggressive grandmother, like, mm. But I'm just saying, that's what's wrong. And I've watched it elevate. And I'm just sending light and healing to her because she's got all this. And if the person's on drugs, which I think that's what that was, if they're on drugs and she takes that in and she herself is on drugs or whatever, it's amplified. Now she got that plus attachments all on her, feeding off of her. And she's going off. Okay. So I'm just sharing that with all of you so you'll know what that's all about. But and it's also a teaching that we really have to be right now very consciously aware of who we're around, where we're sharing our energy at, being aware. And you have to be aware now. I'm very aware. I had somebody DM me on Instagram saying, hey, I've got a proposition for you, blah, blah, blah. And I went over and checked out his site. He only had 5 posts. I'm like, you don't sound too good. And besides, you're coming at me with that word, I got a proposition for you. And I'm like, no. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying this because this is where I am. I don't want to just be with just anybody. I don't want that. I already did that. And I don't want to do that anymore. I'm all about divinely aligning myself with a divine person who's awake, who's got it, who is an original being. Okay, original, pure. And my way of thinking, they're not on this planet. They'll come from the stars to be here. But I'm so busy and doing what I'm doing, that's what it's going to take. Because I'm not looking for anybody. I'm too busy helping others get to where they want to be and what they want to do. That is being with someone, finding that warrior guy right now. That's not the number one thing on my list. What's the number one thing on my list is completing my mission, why I'm here, and getting as much of that done and turning on as many lights as possible. That's what's important to me, and living my life in peace. And along the way, kicking some xenomorph's ass. Did you really think I was just going to not say that? Come on, this is Be So Live. What do? All right, lovely. So I just shared with you what that read is. Thank you for the love. And I want to still say thank you so much, everyone that's been coming in, being a part of the tribe. We keep it all about being our light, but being your true self, having integrity to say yes to you and to say no to others who would have you play down yourself to fit in around them. I've done that way too much in my life, and I'm not going to do it anymore for anybody, you know. And I my intentions here is to always to remind you of who you are, to remind you you're not limited, to remind you that you're not all these things that you think you are, your home, your job, your titles, you're not all that. Who are you? Who are you? And when you can look in the mirror and really make eye contact with yourself, and you can look at yourself and say you love yourself, you know you're worthy, you know you're deserving. When you say that and you own it, your world will change like that. But until then, you cannot be looking for others, looking through them to validate you. They can't validate you. You validate you. You're the one that showed up in this world. You came through the water star, which is your mother's womb, to get here. You were already validated when you said yes to get here. So therefore, you validate you, not somebody else outside of you. You validate you. And on that note, what do? I want you to have a good day, good evening, and I'm gonna hopefully don't have to get popcorn and watch these two. Let's get ready to rumble, you know. Ugh. All right, be good to yourselves. I'm gonna have some fun with this fabric, and I think I already know. I already said I was gonna make um, my doll out of it. So these dolls have not had any pictures yet. They have not been loaded up on my webpage just yet, but you will be able to purchase them. And they are beautiful, handmade by me. Um, they're beautiful guardians. I call them the key keepers. All right, lovelies. I'll talk to you soon. Be so light. Bye.